first, the center fielder, number 89, Ben Noga. Batting second, the second baseman, number 17, Dante Makia Mata Fatima. And batting third, left fielder,
Good evening, fastball fans, and good afternoon to you in New Zealand. You've all been waiting patiently for this one to come across the wire. Well, we're here. The New Zealand Black Sox taking on the Hill United Chiefs. The Chiefs, the home team, you see them out there in the field. Black Sox will come to the plate. Leading off, it'll be Ben Anoka. He'll be followed by Dante Makia Matakatir. Riley Makia bats third. Jerome Remeke hits in the cleanup spot. Thomas Anoka, Cameron Watts, Hohepa Monk to Ware Bishop. Tawny Mumu hits in the 9 spot. There you see the defensive lineup for the Hill United Chiefs. Quentin Bruce, Brad Ezekiel, Alan Pecker left to right across the outfield. Nick Shales, Shane Boland, Tony Gonzalez, and Edgar Lopez. It's Marco Diaz and Bruno Matroni behind the plate for Hill United tonight. Joe Todd, the sun is setting off to our right. It's going to be a bit of a problem for the left fielders for about the next 10 or 15 minutes. Beyond that, we'll be under the lights.
It'll be a great night. Looking forward to this game. Game very important in the standings, in the pools.
Hill United comes in at 2-1. The Black Sox are 3-0 and have been piling up runs, but they're going to face a stern test here in the form of Marco Diaz. Those are very broadcaster-friendly jerseys that the Black Sox have got, Joe. Those are nice big numbers on the back.
I love that.
You can see that a mile and a half away. That big number 89 on the back of Ben Anoka. Just short of 8:45 p.m., we're underway. Marco Diaz in with a strike, and these two see a lot of each other on the club circuit, and they're certainly going to see each other up in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan in the next 10 days as well. Diaz for Team USA, and this, Joe, looks like the best Team USA representation in the last 35, 40 years for the States.
Very strong pitching staff.
Called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Ben Anoka. Caught looking. Can't get the bat off the shoulder here. As we're just underway, the New Zealand Black Sox and the Hill United Chiefs. Blair Sedford, Joe Todd with you on Softball Premier TV. Dante Makia Matakatir steps in. And Diaz wasting no time, jumping ahead. A lot of action already down in the Black Sox bullpen, Joe. There are 6 guys in the Black Sox bullpen. I think a lot of that is just Liam Potts, the starter, finishing up his warm-up routine for New Zealand. You see Marco Diaz doing some landscaping there. We're not at the end. We're just almost at the tail end of a very long day on this main diamond. This is the 6th game here on the main diamond. There's one more to come after it, believe it or not, and that ground has taken a lot of beating. Diaz blows this one past Dante Marakatir. Second straight strikeout to open this one up for the Hill United Chiefs.
Left fielder,
Diaz has done nothing but challenge the batters right here.
Makia.
Riley Makia steps in. Had the game-winning home run last night in the top of the 7th inning. The Dominican Republic had roared back on the Black Sox. New Zealand was out to a 5-0 lead late in that one, but Dominican came back, scored 5. Top of the 7th, Riley with a solo shot to make the difference for New Zealand. This one is punched out to center. Bradley Ezekiel dives, makes the catch. A great catch out there from Brad Ezekiel. Mostly known for the bat, but he's a great stick too. And now we are getting some questions here from the umpires.
There.
So there's, well, I can't really tell whether it was a trap or a catch. Not on that angle. Jeff Ellsworth is out to question.
Here's a replay again.
Just can't tell,
Very
a little
tell.
too fuzzy on that one. Ellsworth is hearing from home plate umpire George LeMaitre. Trevor Topping is out there as well, the base umpire. And I'm assuming, Joe, that the ruling is trap.
I'm sure Trevor, I saw Trevor make the call trap.
If that's the initial call, then that's the call. Makia out at first base, so not a catch, a base hit.
Great effort there by Brad. Come in there. Good range coming in.
Well, Jerome Remeke to the dish. In for a strike. Of course, it was just about a year ago in an exhibition series out in Saskatoon prior to the regional qualifier. Marco Diaz hits Remeke on the forearm, and that resulted in a broken bone, and that was the end of the season for Jerome Remeke. A big hole for the Black Sox, although they obviously went on to qualify in Prince Albert for this year's World Cup. And a big hole in the lineup for the Gremlins, I felt too, Joe.
Yeah, oh yes. Especially batting out of that 4-hole. Usually batted 2 or 4. Batting 4 here.
Four for the Black Sox, 2 for the Gremlins. Tried to hold up, but went around. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Riley Makia with a 2-out single. A little bit of controversy attached to it, but not too much. Called strike 3, the inside corner. Marco Diaz picks up 3 strikeouts to open up the top of the first inning here on Softball Premier TV. Hill United Chiefs coming to the plate in the home half. Back here for the bottom of the first, and Joe, let's see the Chiefs lineup. There it is. Shane Boland leading things off, as he often does. Brad Ezekiel In the 2 spot, Nick Shales, Bruno Matroni bats cleanup. Quentin Bruce, Tony Gonzalez, Edgar Lopez in the 7 hole. Alan Pecker bats 8. And Blake Hunter, designated player. And Joe, the longest home run of the weekend belongs to Blake Hunter, a grand slam earlier this afternoon.
He got all that ball, drove it over the secondary fence here at the park.
Off the roof of the dugout on the diamond behind.
It was the first pitch of that plate appearance, too. Wasn't
It was, yep. Bases loaded and an absolute monster off the bat of Blake Hunter. Liam Potts, the lefty, is the starter for New Zealand. Defensively, Riley Mackey's in left, Ben Anoka in center. Out in right field, it's Hohepa Monk, Jerome Remeke, Tawny Mumu, Maki Amadakatir is at second, Thomas Anoka at first base, Potts, and behind the dish is Tawera Bishop and Joe Todd. I know the Chiefs like to run. You better be careful running against this guy.
Tawera Bishop has a gun. He has a pure arm. He's a former baseball player. Switched over to fastball about 5-6 years ago.
Well, he started in softball and was on their
Sox.
junior Black Sox team and got
that's right,
drafted or signed by, I believe it was the Boston Red Sox as
Yeah.
an 18, 19-year-old. Spent some time in the Red Sox system and came back to softball sometime around 2015 and has been. And there's a single by Shane Boland through the 5.5 hole, so the Chiefs are in business here in the top of the first. Bishop has been out west the last couple of years with the JB squad.
Yes.
And I believe this year with Ostrander in Minnesota, the host team at the ISC World Tournament in about a month's time.
Great addition to that lineup.
And that's a strong lineup, too, already. They won a tournament a week ago in Eau Claire, and they're looking pretty good at another event right now going on in Walcott in Iowa. But our attention is right here, the guy at the plate, Bradley Ezekiel. Swings through. Bradley was 2 for 4 earlier this afternoon, a solo shot. And a home run earlier today in the morning game against the Express, too. But there's a real good changeup from Liam Potts. He works quickly. The left-hander last year with the Grand Prairie Pirates. And he gets Ezekiel to wave over the top of that. A good change of pace. Nick Shales to the dish. And already, Joe, some action occurring in the Black Sox bullpen. Talked to Pitterona, feels like about 2 hours ago now. The game in front of this one was already well underway at that point. But talked to Pitterona, and he said the plan is Potts and then Watts. As this one is fought off down the right field line, Boland will go coast to coast. The throw comes into second base, and Nick Shales aboard with a hard-earned single, Joe. That was in on the hands, and it looked like he just fought it off out to right field.
Yeah, took it the opposite way. The pitcher wanted to challenge him and bringing it close to his hands. Shales stayed with that pitch, and his strength and power drove that ball the opposite way.
So Bruno Matroni will bat with a runner in scoring position. Bruno was 1 for 3 in the afternoon game. 1 for 2 in the morning game with a walk. Last night hit a laser beam off of Jack Besgrove to straightaway center field. Potts bends that one in for a strike. New Zealand 6-5 winners on Thursday night. And then they've won 2 big ones here earlier in the day. Way out in front of that one. 9-0 winners over Toronto, and then 9-1 over Australia.
Good mix of pitches by Potts so far in this game.
Chop foul by Matroni at the plate. Well, that's going to be Liam Potts' game, Joe. He's got to work up and down. You don't want to leave the ball in the middle of the plate. Of course, you can say that about any pitcher, but hit the spots, change speeds. He's not going to blow it by anybody, but if he can effectively change speeds, he'll have a good outing. Fouled that one straight back.
A little bit of advantage coming from that left side.
He's got some real experience on both corners in Anoka and Remeke. Downstairs. Mumu, the youngster at short, but he's been on the North American circuit the last couple of years with the now Bear Creek Gremlins.
Both pitcher and catcher are really working that ball. You really thought they would have had it worked in by now.
And that one misses downstairs to Matroni. So a bases loaded situation here that Liam Potts is going to have to deal with early in this contest.
Not the batter you want to face at the plate right now either.
Quentin Bruce has been as hot as anybody in the Chiefs lineup. Bruce 2 for 3 with a walk. Had a home run in the morning game. 2 for 3 in that one as well.
Just one out.
Foul ball. Remeke waited as long as possible. And he's having a little fun with umpire George LeMaitre behind the plate. He waited as long as possible, and that ball looked like it was arcing back, but it was definitely in foul territory.
Make the play. Let the umpire make the call.
Fouled off at the plate. Shane Boland to lead off single. Brad Ezekiel down on strikes. Shales singled. And then the walk to Bruno Matroni is how the Chiefs have loaded the bases. If you're just getting in with us, Blair Setford, Joe Todd, bottom of the first. New Zealand stranded 1 in the top half.
Potts really working hard on that outside corner of the plate.
Thomas Anoka and Dante Mudakatir are side by side at the moment, but they get the signal from Bishop, and then they'll both retreat back to where they're going to defend from. And a little flare caught by Remeke. He'll step on the bag for the double play. Reaching back to snare that was Remeke, the game's best third baseman. Makes another fine play.
Great defensive play by Remeke. Keep this game scoreless here.
You can see he goes up in the air, makes the grab, and just steps on the bag for the double play.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Marco Diaz back out on the board after his warm-up pitches, a little stretching. Picked up 3 strikeouts in the first. Thomas Anoka, Cameron Watts, and Hohepa Monk.
At the plate, first
In for a strike.
Thomas Anoka.
On the ISC circuit, Thomas Anoka back with the Northeast Drillers organization. Spent a season with the Chiefs a couple of years back. Great versatility from Thomas. Playing the infield today, can play corner outfield, and I think I saw he was actually pitching the other night. I haven't seen Thomas pitch in a couple of years, but he's always had that ability, always had the high leg kick. Hard shot past Lopez out at first down the line. Pecker gets on it in a hurry and fires it in. Well, you're doing something if you get it past Edgar Lopez at first. He's not had anything get by him today.
Yeah, he's been a vacuum over there today.
The designated player, number 12, Cameron Watts.
Right down the line the whole way. So hard hit single by Thomas Anoka. Second hit of the game for the Black Sox. That'll bring up Cameron Watts. Watts is the designated player. Swinging bunt attempt, and that's pretty tough, Joe.
Yes. You either have to decide if you want to bunt for a single or you want to bunt for a sacrifice.
Up high from Diaz. Shales is in significantly at third base. He's almost beside the 8-foot circle. He's only 3 steps from the 8-foot circle. Now he moves over one to his right. Swing and a miss through by Cameron Watts, and the defense will retreat back a little bit. You've heard us talk about how far Shales plays off the line at third base. Right now, he's 10 feet off the line from third. Swings through, does Cameron Watts. 4th strikeout of the game for Marco Diaz. Shales' thinking is that if you're going to beat him down the line, the odds are that there are more hits that go in between short and third than there are that go purely down the line. Thomas Anoka, of course, the exception on the other side.
All 4 outs right now credited to Marco Diaz.
And pours in another strike here to Hohepa Monk. You hear this name a lot, Joe, in the write-ups and the stories from the Kiwi season. Of course, the opposite of the North American season. Can't catch up to that one. He's been in and out of the Black Sox lineup a couple of times over the last couple of years. The first time I'm seeing him in person. Well, can't catch up to anything from Marco Diaz. And right now, if you're not getting a base hit, you're getting struck out. All 5 outs via the K for Diaz. We'll bring up Tawera Bishop.
Catcher, number 33, Tawera Bishop.
A couple of years ago, playing for JB in a tournament, he stepped into one and launched it, Joe. It had to be 350 plus feet.
Big, strong boy.
Oh, he is a big lad. terrific receiver behind the plate, too. Very calm back there. You know, we talk about this in hockey, too. A goalie who's calm. Same thing with Bishop behind the plate. Chop foul here. Leaves that one up in the zone, does Bishop.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And a call to strike there. Bishop thought he might be on his way down to first, but let's run the count to full.
Tough sell there.
And swings over the top with a hard drop from Marco Diaz on the inside corner. A leadoff single is stranded at first. Diaz collects another 3 strikeouts. 6 on the game as everybody has gone down to Marco Diaz to this point. We'll go to the home half of the second. Hill United coming back up to the plate.
In the top of the second inning for the Black Sox. No rest, 1 hit, 1 player, 1 double base.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Gonzalez says hello to Tuera Bishop as we get ready to start the home half. A little friendly fist bump from Gonzalez, who is, Joe, another nice guy in a game of nice people.
Great guy. Just and a true leader on this team, too.
And there's a bunch of them, but Tony Gonzalez just quietly goes about his business, leads by example. Chiefs loaded the bases in the first. And a fine play by Jerome Remeke to get them out of that jam. Gonzalez, Edgar Lopez, and Alan Pecker. And that's chop foul, and Tony's got that big leg guard on for a reason. Just misses inside, and Joe, you can always pick Pitterona out of the crowd. He's standing beside the 6-foot fence down there, and he's head and shoulders above it. Lifted way up in the air to right field. Coming in is Monk, and he'll make the grab. Gonzalez hits the bottom of it here.
Kind of the tough part of the night to pick the ball up, too. The
Yeah.
lights are on, but
Yeah.
it's a little dusky.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We're in that twilight spot where the light's not having a ton of effect just yet. Edgar Lopez ended the game with JDT with a 2-run walk-off home run in the 6th to get us to the run rule. Chiefs 12-5 winners in that one. 4-1 earlier this morning over the Bear Creek Express. And on the short side of a 3-2 9-inning game last night against Australia. That was a fun ball game. Strike on the outside corner.
Potts pretty well wants to stay out in that country there.
This one's going to go foul on the left side. Going to give it a bit of a look, and almost pulling it back is Jerome Remeke. Won't tell you what Jerome Remeke just said there, but you can lip read for yourself. But a real good effort here. I thought this was going to be further onto the dugout, and boy, he gets a glove on it.
Yeah. Good effort.
Just off the corner. Great camera work there by Carol DeReste. She doesn't have the full ninja suit on tonight, Joe. She's missing the facial cover. They're going to ask if he went around. No, says Trevor Topping. George LeMaitre, home plate umpire from Hamilton, just down the road here from Kitchener. Trevor is local here in Kitchener. And this one, well hit, deep center field on a line. Forget about it. Left center. Lopez with a round tripper. And the Chiefs are out in front 1-0.
Just shows you how strong Edgar Lopez is by taking that ball the other way. A lot of upper body strength there.
Well, there'll be some questions about whether he went all the way around. He certainly went all the way around on this one. And there you see it clearing the fence. Got a break, maybe, Joe, on the check swing.
Number 59, Alan Pecker.
Alan Pecker now to the dish. Kimana got a pinch hit single in the afternoon game against JDT. 1 for 3 in the morning game against the Express. Strike down in the outside corner, and Joe, you're right. That's where Potts is going to need to be. Got a little too much of the plate on that one to Lopez.
Yeah, he just can't make mistakes here.
That was about a 44.5-footer from Potts, and
It
Pecker tried to go after it cricket style and completely missed it. Fouls that off the end of the bat.
Potts had 17 pitches in the first inning. Already had 16 here so far in the second.
Held back, but I don't know if they're going to get this call either.
No.
No. Upstairs. Here's a good look at the young left-hander for New Zealand. There'll be a lot of teams, I think, Joe, that are going to pitch by committee, including New Zealand, and I would have to think including Canada.
Yes.
The one team that may not may be the U.S., and Marco Diaz certainly off to a torrid start here this evening. He is likely to be getting the ball the bulk of the time for the Americans up in Prince Albert.
Very strong gentleman. Keeps himself in great shape.
Blake Hunter in for a strike. We talked about the grand slam that Blake Hunter had this afternoon. On the move, there's the gun from Bishop, and out at second base is Alan Pecker challenging to wear a Bishop, and no,
I really think that ball hit the ground. It skipped about 4 feet from second base.
Yeah, you're right, it did. That's a great play out there, and the tag's high from Tawny Mumu, but called out is Alan Pecker. Hard shot picked up by Remeke and over to first for the final out. Edgar Lopez, a solo shot, has the Chiefs out in front, 1-0 through 2.
In the home half of the second inning for the Chiefs.
Some of the fans that are on hand for this evening's contest, Joe, it's been a decent day for ball here in Kitchener. It's been overcast, and the sun, when it's peeked out, has been nice and warm. It's going to be toasty tomorrow here, about 29, 30 degrees Celsius, and expected humidex into the upper 30s. So bring your frosties.
Yeah, a little bit different than what we faced today.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for the players. The one thing about this diamond here at Hallman Park, there's not a lot of breeze down on the field. You're surrounded by this building. We're on the third base side where we are, and then there are grandstands built around home plate and extending over towards first base side.
Almost like a little valley.
Downstairs to Tawny Mumu here as he leads things off, the 9-batter for the Black Sox. They've had a runner aboard in each of the first 2 innings. Riley Macchia, a two-out single rather in the first, and then Thomas Anoka led off with a hard-hit single in the second, but neither of them have been able to advance past first as Diaz has struck out the side in both innings.
Diaz is up on Mumu now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nope.
Ball 4 there.
Okay, sorry.
I think you got distracted on
Yeah.
a couple of the pitches. So a leadoff walk, Joe. How often do these score?
66% of the time. It's a bonus time when that number 9 batter can get it. Get it rolling for you.
Back to the top of the shop for Ben Inoka. hard line shot, and if I am Dante Makia Marakatir, I am moving immediately. He didn't flinch, but that ball couldn't have missed him by more than a foot or a foot and a half. Beninoka squares to bunt, gets it down cleanly. Toss to first from Lopez. Gonzalez covering at the bag, and textbook from the offensive side and textbook from the defensive side.
Great sacrifice. Turned and pivot on that back foot. Laid his bat in there. Pretended his bat was his glove. Laid it down.
Well, I'd expect nothing less from Beninoka, and the Black Sox hallmark, Joe, all these years that they do all the fundamentals right.
And it comes back to help you. It pays rewards. Fundamentals are the basis of our game.
And I'm sure that new head coach Thomas Makia is stressing this to his team. That's how his Black Sox teams won 2, 3, 4 in a row, I want to say, over the years. They went a huge stretch, a 35-year stretch, where they played in every championship game of the ISF and then the WBSC championships.
Mumu now in scoring position at second base.
And he runs very well. There are excellent arms all the way around in the Chiefs' outfield. That one misses downstairs. Pecker and Ezekiel in particular. Bruce half a notch below, but still throws the ball very well from left. Pecker looks a little shallow, too, out in right. And learning the lesson there, Riley Makia, he's over in behind Marakatir. Thinks about dropping down a bunt, but can't get the bat on it.
He struggled the first time with the plate.
Yeah, he was well behind, wasn't he? Ben Watts is warming up for the Black Sox down in the bullpen. That was the plan, we were told. Called strike 3. Can't get the bat off the shoulder here. Diaz picks up his 7th strikeout just here in the 3rd. We heard the plan was Potts, then Watts, and then Rona. And Jeff Ellsworth is going to come out for a mound visit. I'm sure just a reminder here to the infield that this is a good stick, that he's somebody that has seen Marco already a couple of times this season with the Drillers, most recently last weekend.
Possibly just going over, okay, Maki got a hit off you. What did you pitch him? What did he beat you on? Make sure he doesn't beat you again.
Had that line drive out to center field that was called a trap on a diving Bradley Ezekiel. Off the corner for ball 1 from Diaz. And now it's Rona's turn to throw down in the bullpen. Diaz, a long look in. Get some grip off that Gorilla Gold rag. Drop ball down and in for ball 2. Big lean, long delay from Diaz there, rather, and pours in a strike. Now 2-1. Maybe a little bit of cat and mouse, Joe, as he was in the set position there for a long time.
45th pitch for Diaz so far in the 3rd inning here.
Again, a long time with the ball at the hip. And zips this one in. Three and one, good count here for Macchia. You see the nod from Diaz. Ball 4 just missing off the plate, so they certainly were careful there, weren't they, Joe?
Yes. Second walk issued by Diaz this inning.
Number 34, Jerome Remacki.
Got Jerome Remacki looking to end the first. I dare say you won't get Jerome looking again. Dangerous hitter at the plate. A good spot here for the Black Sox. Opportunity to tie this game at 1 or more. That one gets well away from Matrone, and it'll be up to Shales, actually, to go get it as it squirted halfway down the 3rd baseline. Wild pitch here. Not sure that's what Bruno Matrone was looking for, as that was a bit of an awkward Olay backhand.
Pitcher and catcher just have to be on that same page, especially when there's runners on the base.
Well, both of them now up to scoring position, too. Chop foul down the left side. Remacki swings so hard he comes out of the gear half the time. He's got to redo up that arm guard that he wears. Tawny Mumu, a leadoff walk. He's at 3rd base. Riley Macchia, a 2-out walk. He's up to 2nd. Black Sox looking to tie this one back up. The Chiefs are out in front on an Edgar Lopez solo home run. Called strike on the outside corner. Joe, we'd have to go back and look in the books, but I want to say upwards of 75, 80% of the runs the Chiefs have scored this weekend, and particularly today, have come via the home run one way or the other.
A lot of extra base hits. Diaz really working on that outside corner.
Gets Remacki to chase upstairs for strike 3. Picks up his 8th strikeout of the game.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
So new pitcher for the Black Sox, Joe Todd, is Ben Watts, and as was suggested to us, this right according to the script,
Yep.
Liam Potts works 2 innings, gives up the 1 run. Be up to Watts to hold the fort here as Shane Boland would lead things off. Back to the top of the shop, so I'm sure it was get through the order once, Liam. We'll turn it over to Ben.
Pitching line on Potts. 1 run on 3 hits, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk. Sorry, 2 walks. Through 38 pitches.
Watts worked a couple of innings in relief earlier this afternoon against Australia.
A lot of landscaping going on out there.
Yeah, not a surprise. There's been a lot of that. We talked about the beating that the landing area in particular takes over the course of a long day at the Diamond.
Ground crew's done a great job here. Clean it up, relime it every game.
The game against Australia this afternoon, Joe, Riley Macchia started that game for the Black Sox, and I was a little taken by surprise. I don't remember Riley as a pitcher, but, oh, that just goes right over the head of Carol DeReste. Just terrifies me every time she's up there, but she's been able to dodge and weave with the best of them. But Riley Macchia worked the first few innings, and then Watts came on in relief. The offense dominated that game for the Black Sox. To Hopper, Monikatier to his right, and throws out Shane Boland, his erstwhile teammate from a decade ago with the Toronto Gators.
Sharp, hard hit ball by Shane Boland, but good range by Monikatier. Took 2 steps to his left.
There's Dante in your frame. out at second base. Joe, a little trivia for you. Dante Mudakatir was on base when Shane Boland hit the game-winning home run for the Toronto Gators in the 2016 ISC World Tournament Championship game. Bradley Ezekiel laces this one down the line and foul, just foul. We've got a great view down that first base side out into right field and just on the right side of the line and not by much. You'll see it come down here. Just there, probably no more than 10 centimeters or less. Inside from the hard-throwing right-hander. So, Joe, here's a curious case. Liam Watts continues to throw down in the bullpen, alternating pitches with Pitarona in the right field bullpen for the Black Sox. So maybe we haven't seen the last of Liam Potts just yet. Either that or he's got a pre-programmed number of pitches he wants to throw tonight.
Well, the starting 9 can re-enter the game.
Called a strike on the inside corner to Ezekiel.
Should he get into that situation, but you don't see it very often.
You don't. Bradley fights that one off. But that does give you the option. You could bring in Pitarona and still re-enter Liam Potts. You would have burned Watts here, but Liam Potts would still have the ability to re-enter.
Especially on a cooler night like tonight.
Line shot out to straightaway center field. Brad Ezekiel aboard with a base hit.
Now to the plate, the third baseman, number 27, Nick Shales.
I don't know how many times we've already said it here this year, Joe. You just cannot hold Bradley Ezekiel down. You might get him a couple of times, but he will get you before the game is over.
Yeah, he's a real tough out.
Meeting on the board here. George LeMaitre will go out and bring back Tawera Bishop. One down in the inning. Bottom of the third, the Chiefs are out in front, 1-0. Three-batter Nick Shales to the plate. Strike on the outside corner. Shales fought one off and singled out to right field in his first trip. A good at-bat from Nick Shales. You said he just turned 40 very recently?
Yep, earlier this spring.
Not on the Australia roster. And certainly this weekend where they're short a couple of guys who are still with their clubs here in this tournament, and I guess Nick likely would have been as well. But I wonder if they're going to be missing his offensive prowess up in Prince Albert.
And his leadership.
That's a great point.
No matter the situation, he doesn't seem to get rattled.
No, there's never any
Always an
panic.
even keel.
Yeah, never any panic in Nick's game. Knows the game, the situation, and the rules inside out. Chases this one downstairs, not happy with himself there as he'll head back to that third base dugout. Good pitch from Ben Watts to tie up Shales down on the inside corner. Bishop calling a tremendous game behind the plate. Inside to Bruno Matroni. Bruno walked loaded the bases back in the first, but the Chiefs lined into that double play to end it. Way upstairs. Looks like he lost his footing on the landing, Joe. He's out there going to do some landscaping. You can see how deep he goes. His foot just disappears into that hole. And trust me, folks, they are out there in between every game. They water, they smooth that over, they tamp it down. But these diamonds just take a beating with men's fastball. And again, looking down at the landing spot is Watts. Gets away from Bishop and skitters up the line, and Remeke with a tough shove on Jeff Ellsworth to move him out of the way. Jeff's a pretty solid individual, but I would not want to get in the way of Jerome Remeke when he is coming in my direction. And that is the legendary Chub Tangaroa, Joe Todd.
Yes.
Coming out, he's the pitching coach for the Black Sox, and he's going to visit here as digging away at the edge of the circle is Ben Watts. It's Bradley Ezekiel who is running for... No, sorry, I take that back. No. It's Nick Shales who is running for Bruno Matroni now on the walk.
Yeah, just 2 out for the catcher.
Yes, thank you, sir. That's what I was getting around to saying, and you said it much more succinctly.
Now at the plate, the left fielder, number
So runners on the corners. Quentin Bruce, who lined that shot to Jerome Remeke. Great play by Remeke to help the Black Sox get out of a bases-loaded jam in the first. Another jam here in the third, and another opportunity for Bruce to extend the lead now. On the infield, Montecatier gobbles that up, tossed to first, and one pitch later, they're out of the inning. A little bit of a hug from Bishop to Watts as they work out of that jam. Still, 1-0 for the Chiefs. We'll go to the top of the fourth. The Black Sox coming back to the plate.
in the bottom of the third inning for the Chiefs. No runs. 2 left on
Thomas Anoka will get things going here for us in the fourth inning, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Well, it just seems like yesterday that Thomas Anoka was the younger brother of Ben and was coming onto the scene. Dolan and Murphy way back in his first World Tournament appearance. In a lot of years, a lot of miles. Got engaged in the North American off-season during the season down in New Zealand, so congratulations. Older brother Ben became a father in the off-season.
Big family changes coming to the Anoka way.
Yeah. Always great to see both Ben and Tommy. Spent some time together with the Toronto Gators in the mid-2000 teens, and it's always a pleasure to get reconnected. In for a strike to Anoka. I think that's Cole Evans who has emerged from the dugout to pinch hit. Joe, am I correct in that one?
I think so.
And that gets through Shales out to left field. Thomas Anoka aboard for his second time tonight, second base hit. And maybe Joe playing off the line there comes back to bite Nick Shales just a little bit.
Number 47, Cole Evans.
Got through him on the backhand. In for a strike to Cole Evans. And Joe, did he just turn up the wick a little bit on
Yes,
that pitch
I
to
think so.
Cole Evans?
Wish we had the radar gun going tonight.
Yes. We've seen Marco Diaz in the low to mid 80s very consistently all season. Got it up to 86, 87 on a few occasions so far this year. That one I would have loved to have seen. Evans, the captain of the Black Sox, picked up an ISC World Tournament MVP award 2 years ago. This will be his 5th World Cup appearance, Joe. He's only 26. He was 16 in 2015. And that clips Evans on the hand, and he's going to shake that out on his way down to first. Looks like maybe it got him just on the mid forearm. That will sting. Yeah, just past that bottom of that elbow protector. Shales is arguing that that was in the strike zone. You're looking at Cole Evans getting a little bit of treatment there on that right arm, but the argument from Nick Shales and Jeff Ellsworth is that Evans is out over the plate and that should be a strike, and that's the
Legitimate call.
It's a question. You saw where he got hit, and that's what happened with the Jonathan Lynch play that we were talking about earlier this afternoon, when Schofield hit Lynch at the World Cup a couple of years back in 2022 down in Auckland, and they ruled it a strike, saying that Lynch was in the strike zone and leaned into it. And are they
Going to move, bring him back.
Well, Thomas Macchia is down here. He didn't get much of an explanation, but first base coach is getting an explanation from George LeMaitre.
We'll see it again.
So here it is here. You'll get a view, and no, we won't get the full replay, but Cole Evans indeed is getting called back to the plate. So here it is. You make up your mind.
Yeah.
So I'm gathering, Joe, that will be a strike on Evans. 0-2 is the count that I just saw get held up.
Mm-hmm. Sure, he'd rather hit the ball anyway.
Fouls that one straight back to the screen, so certainly no lasting effect. I almost thought maybe Diaz would have come right back inside on him, but
Challenge him a bit.
yes. Well, some courage to take that pitch with 2 strikes, Joe. Outside. 1-2 to Evans. Haven't seen the changeup yet from Marco Diaz. He threw a beauty to Cole Evans in the World Tournament Championship last year. Dialed it down from 84 down to 58. Got a final on one of the other diamonds, Joe. Midland Explorers 7-6 winners over the Oswegan Redmen in 8 innings. Jerlin Rutt over Steve McNaughton in that one.
I believe the game is just getting underway, and we're on diamond 3.
High hopper, that's going to go foul as Lopez leaves that one alone. And what game would that be on diamond 3 right now,
That's
Joe?
JDT and Bear Creek, is it not?
No.
JDT
is going to be playing here on this diamond after the conclusion of this one. They did not move that game.
So that would be Bear Creek, and I will get that for you.
Might be Bear Creek in Toronto. Swing and a miss. That gets away from Matrone. Evans is out because first base was occupied.
You are correct.
Thomas Anoka up to second base on the play.
Right fielder, number 9, Kohepa.
So lengthy on the part of Cole Evans, including the discussion around getting hit and was he in the strike zone. Kohepa Monk swings over the top.
Another possibility of that. I was thinking of that player. But could have they called that he was in the act of swinging?
Maybe, but it didn't look like he went all the way around. And if so, that would have been Trevor Topping's call, not George's. Mm-hmm. Good theory. One of many. Monk over the top and very quickly in a hole 0-2.
Pretty good crowd still here tonight.
That one misses downstairs. Set at the hip and fouled off, and that went off the hip of Bruno Matrone. It's been a rough day for catchers all the way around, Joe. It usually is, too, for what it's worth. And those guys do a phenomenal job back there. Bruno gets the courtesy plate clean from George LeMaitre, and just a word in his ear to make sure he's okay. Diaz wants a new set of signals. Thomas Anoka is pretty adept at picking pitches. He's out at second base peering around. This one misses down and in to Monk. That's about the same view that you've got that Thomas Anoka is seeing. Called. Strike 3. Down goes Kohepa Monk. 10 strikeouts already on the evening for Marco Diaz.
Great evening performance put on by Diaz so far.
But Joey hasn't had a clean inning yet.
No.
He's racking up the strikeouts, but
Facing some pretty good opposition, though, too, Laura.
Oh, there's no slouches here. There are no slouches. This one is laced out to center field. Ezekiel on the hop. Here's the throw. It's high, and scoring is Thomas Anoka. He has a backward glance at the plate. He might have just clipped it on the way through, and that's exactly what George LeMaitre is saying right there. He got the back corner of it. You might get a good look at it here. Yes, he did. Got the corner of the plate. Great call by George LeMaitre. And a big RBI single there off the bat of Tawera Bishop. Hohepa Monk will come out to run. Bishop up to second on the throw. But we got ourselves a tie ball game. And some good base running by Thomas Anoka, too.
Now pinch hitting number 46, Reese Evans.
You just saw Hall of Famer Thomas McKeah stroll through your screen. The newly minted head coach of the Black Sox. This is his first campaign with the Black Sox. Inside to pinch hitter here, Joe. Reese Evans this time, so it's the inning of Evans substitutions. Swings over the top. Reese on batting here for Tawny Mumu. Edgar Lopez, Joe, is 12 and a half feet behind the bag at first. And now make it 14 as he takes two more steps back. Shale's pretty much even with the bag at third when I can find him behind that giant pole that obstructs the view.
He is there.
Well, I'm glad he's still on the field at least. Swing through, squirts away from Matroni, and up to third base goes Monk running for Bishop.
Good smart base running by Monk to advance there. Just that much closer to home plate now.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Black Sox have tied it and looking to add to the tally. But can't catch up to that one from Marco Diaz. Evans down on strikes. Diaz collects another 3. We got ourselves a tie ball game, Joe.
Yes.
1-1. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Hill United Chiefs right back at it.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Tony Gonzalez, Edgar Lopez, Alan Pecker.
Leading off the home half of the 4th inning.
Lopez accounting for the lone run for the Chiefs with a solo shot back in the second inning.
Both teams have 1 run. Both teams have 4 hits.
There's been no clean innings, Joe. Lots of base runners. There's a good look at Jerome Remicky just before we faded to the center field shot. And Watts throws about a 42-footer and skips off of Tawera Bishop. They might want to check the ball for a dent. Bishop is pretty solid back there. You see it every pitch, Joe. The infield comes in, and then the accordion back out to their defensive spots as they all come in to get the sign from Bishop.
Good to see that they're all on the same page, though. Know what pitch is coming, potentially where it's going to be at.
In for a strike to Tony Gonzalez. And zips this one in for another strike as well at the top of the zone. Usually you see 1, maybe 2 guys do it. Joe Shales does this a lot, certainly in key situations. But every pitch they're doing this. It's a little bit like an NCAA game. You see this a lot in the women's game. Potts continues to throw alternately with Rona. That is fouled over the dugout roof. There's one thing we could do to help speed things up. You don't get the ball back from out of play.
Yeah.
You play with the one you're given and we
good,
move on. That would help move things along these 2.5-hour games. Gonzalez worked the count here on Watts. And up the middle, knocked down by Mudakatir. Can't get a handle on it. Tony Gonzalez aboard with a base hit.
Good punch there by Gonzalez. Mudakatir was trying to go to his right. I think he kind of took a peek at Gonzalez and see where he was running down the line. Cheated a bit. Lost sight of the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't get the handle on it after he knocked it down. Lopez at the plate and looks at a pitch down low for ball 1.
Lopez put a dent in the ball back in the second inning.
Snap throw down and look out. In behind Lopez and Tony Gonzalez. A bit of a chuckle, too, as he got back to the bag just in time.
Don't want to be straddling too far off that back.
Not right now. Not with the arm that this guy's got. That long swing of Lopez fouls that back to the screen. He's so smooth with the swing. Joe, a lot of guys, you watch them swing and it looks very violent. Not so with Edgar Lopez. Just nice and smooth, but boy, when he connects, it goes.
You just cannot make a mistake up in the letters.
Got into this one, out to right, out near the fence, and just about a step or two in front. And boy, that's a good strong throw in from Hohepa Monk out in right field too. Wow, he's got an arm.
Got the ball in quickly too.
Lopez hits the bottom of it, not the back of it, and give it a ride, but Tony Gonzalez somewhat wisely retreated back to first base.
Great fielder, number 59, Alan Pecker.
Good throwing position by Hohepa Monk as he caught that ball, Joe. He was in position to come right forward a couple of steps and got it in a hurry, as you said. Alan Pecker.
Allen got on by way of a walk back in the second inning. That was against Potts, though.
Right back up the middle by Pecker. Gonzalez will just be content with advancing 60 feet and now give a little bluff as the throw squirts away from Motokatir.
Designated player, number 3, Blake Hunter.
You don't want to run on Benny Anoka either.
No.
Thursday night, Joe, Ben Anoka played his 100th game with the Black Sox. 100 caps. They had a little celebration that was noted online as well. Congratulations to Ben Anoka. 50 for Riley Macchia. And I believe Thomas Anoka was 50 as well that night. In for a strike to Blake Hunter.
Blake Hunter coming out of that number 9 hole. That's good to have that kind of depth.
Looks off that one for ball one. Run the count to 1-1. Gonzalez out at second. Pecker at first. Infield retreats back to defensive depth. And Hunter fouls that off to the screen.
Blake Hunter pulled the ball down the third baseline for Rameke the last time. Back in the second inning. See if he stays that way.
Skips this one in. Good job behind the dish by Tuera Bishop to keep that in front of him. He just collapsed in front of the ball. Make sure it's not going to get through. I'm sure he spent hours doing that in minor league training camps. Little fly in the infield. They let that drop and it squirts away from Evans. They throw to third. Gonzalez is going to be forced at third.
Yes.
Did they call the infield fly rule or no? We're isolated. I didn't hear whether it was called or not, but to me this should be
called.
The infield fly rule. Evans is lucky it didn't squirt away too much further. Tony Gonzalez will be forced at third on the play. So some heads-up ball by Cole Evans to get the lead runner. Regardless, you end up with this particular situation. Whether he catches it or lets it drop, you're going to end up with runners at first and second. It's the same thing.
Same scenario.
Yeah, same.
Shortstop, number 91, Shane Boland.
Back to the top for Shane Boland. His first look at Ben Watts. Sorry, second look at Ben Watts as Potts went 2 innings, once through the order. Boland grounding out to Montecatier in his first trip against Watts. Hard hit ball. That's going to split the gap. Pecker is waving around. He scores easily, but Boland is thrown out at second. But he'll take the RBI, and the Chiefs back out in front, 2-1. Some good defense here from the Black Sox to get Shane Boland at second base. Ben Anoka into Evans, and a real heads-up play by Cole Evans to throw to Montecatier and get Shane Boland. I don't think Shane was expecting that at all.
We got 1 run and 3 hits. Is that correct, Blair?
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
We'll bring you back just a couple of seconds early from the Mont Hill Golf and Country Club over in Caledonia to see Ben Anoka take a first pitch from Marco Diaz. Anoka was caught looking leading off the game in the first. Sack bunt and a beauty in the third. Chop that one foul down the right side.
Had a big 4th inning for both teams as New Zealand put a run on the board in the top of the 4th, and then Hill United come back with their reply.
Well, Joe, the winner of this game should, and I emphasize should, win the division here, or the tier, if you will. The top 4 teams in this tier will make the playoffs. Anoka chases a rise ball upstairs as we lead off the 5th. With both of them at 3-1, Hill United would have the tiebreaker. JDT still has the opportunity to go to 3-1. They're going to play after this game. Boy, that's going to be a real late start.
Yes.
Down and in to Montecatier. But JDT could also go 3-1, but the Chiefs would hold the tiebreaker over them, and I do not believe they've played New Zealand, so they would go to some type of runs against formula. Tomorrow morning still, Joe, at 8 a.m. in the blessed a.m. Mudakatir drops down a bunt. Good wheels. Look at him go down to first, but a real nice play by Marco Diaz. Little snap of the wrist, Joe, to throw out Dante Mudakatir. There was quite the lightning show going on here. So that game was held, and then by 10 o'clock, the skies opened up. This is flared out to right field. It's going to drop in front of Alan Pecker. And Riley Mackey is aboard for the third straight time tonight. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. So there were a couple of games that were postponed and rescheduled from Friday to tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. where there's a couple of available diamonds prior to the playoffs starting. But JDT, if they can beat Bear Creek, if they can beat the Dominican, they can force their way into that 3-1 position as well. They lost to Hill United earlier today too, so the Chiefs have got the advantage of 2 or 3 tiebreakers in their favor on the head-to-head side.
So final positioning standings really won't be done till after the conclusion of that 8 a.m. game.
I think so. Australia's in a bit of a tough spot. They've got to play in that game against JDT. Australia 2-1. Sorry, 1-2. 1-2. If they can upset JDT, it's going to make even more math going to happen. The good news, Joe, is you and I don't have to do the math this week. It's not on us to figure out. We're going to speculate here, but it's not on us to sort that one out. We'll just have to call it. Jerome Remicky at the dish. That misses off the outside corner. I'm sure Jerome was calling it no on the way in as well, as he likes to do. I notice there's a couple of guys on the Dominican team that like to play that game as well. I was over watching them play JDT earlier this afternoon. Devin McCullough, one hitter against the Dominican this afternoon. That bodes well for Canada that Devin McCullough is throwing the ball so well. Good to see. He's trimmer than I've seen him in the last few years. He looks really good.
Kept himself in shape over the winter.
Foul on the left side. Talk about pitching by committee. New Zealand, it's the first time New Zealand's not had anybody up in the bullpen in about an hour and a half.
I think they've all thrown about 100 pitches.
Oh, my goodness. Thrown 2 ball games down there. But Canada, I think Joe will be pitching by committee. They've got 4 guys who look a lot the same. Hard-throwing righties, Cleary, Schofield, Sebastian, and McCullough. You throw Colin Walsh as a left-handed wild card into that option, although I'm hearing he's been told not to really expect to be throwing out in Prince Albert. Called strike 3. Remicky goes down looking for the second time, 3rd overall. Can't get the bat off the shoulder. Marco Diaz continues to pile up the strikeouts. He's up to a baker's dozen. Hill United Chiefs, a 2-1 lead. Will go to the bottom of the 5th. The Chiefs coming back to the plate. Joe Todd, there's Pitarona on the third pitcher for the New Zealand Black Sox. And just as it was mentioned to me pre-game, Joe, and I guess according to plan, it's been Potts, Watts, and Rona, the law firm from Auckland, New Zealand.
Well, you go into a game plan and you want to execute it. They've done it to perfection so far.
And this is going to be that pitching by committee New Zealand style that we talked about for Canada. The Black Sox doing the same thing. While we got a second, Joe, let's say hi to Amanda Rona and all the crew down in New Zealand who are tuned in. It's Sunday afternoon in New Zealand. Hope you're enjoying all the action here on Softball Premier TV. Blair Setford, Joe Todd, happy to be with you. Pitta will face Bradley Ezekiel to lead things off here in the fifth. And gets him to swing at the drop. Just looked like he was keyed up and ready to go, Joe. He was swinging no matter where it was, I think.
He wanted to greet him.
Yeah. Pitarona did a fabulous job at the regional qualifier held in Prince Albert, the host of the World Cup, last summer, pitching New Zealand into the World Cup. And they had to qualify in that event, Joe, because the tiebreakers based on the rankings, they were going to come up short. They needed to advance through that qualifier. Pitarona, the mainstay out on the board for the Black Sox, and he willed them into that spot. Not overpowering. He's got good pace, relies on location, changes speed. He's crafty without being a lefty out there. He's done some pitching already here in North America, Joe, for the Bear Creek Express. They've got a plethora of arms, do the Express. Out to left.
Ball's carrying.
Way back in the corner. Riley Macchia with a bit of a smile tracks that one down. He had to go a long way to go get that one. Bradley Ezekiel gets this way up in the air, and as we've seen all day, those flags are a little bit limp now, Joe, but it's you get something up in left field, it's had a tendency to carry today. So long fly ball off the bat of Brad Ezekiel. Hauled in by Riley Macchia for the first out. Nick Shales to the plate. Nick singled in the first, down on strikes in the third. Can't catch up to that one from Pitarona. Off the inside leg of Nick Shales, down to one knee. Big cut from Shales. Whoa, that was an angry swing.
Good hard rip.
Yeah, he went after that one from Pitarona. There you get a look at the man from North Harbor. Plays for Northcote in the New Zealand leagues. Took something off of it, and Shales out in front. And that's what Pitarona is going to rely on, Joe, is that change of speed and location.
Have to be very smart out in that mountain. Bishop's called a great game behind the plate.
He really has. Now there's 2 out. Bruno Matroni. Chases the rise ball upstairs for strike 1. 2 walks for Bruno.
Both times stranded at first base.
And Joe, just because he hasn't thrown enough tonight, Liam Watts is back down in the bullpen for the Black Sox. Sorry, Liam Potts.
Liam Potts.
Not Watts.
Yeah.
It was Ben
You're
Watts.
getting your Potts and your Watts
I
mixed
know.
up.
Like I said, it's like I feel like I'm in a British sitcom here. Potts, Watts, and Rona. Liam went 2 innings leading off for the Black Sox. Gave up the home run to Edgar Lopez.
4 hits, just the 1 walk, and 1 strikeout.
Ben Watts came on and worked the 3rd and the 4th. The RBI single by Shane Boland. That's about one of the few runs that the Chiefs have scored where it wasn't involving a home run today. Right down Broadway, Bruno Matroni looks at strike 3. And that's the first clean inning we've had all game, Joe Todd.
Yes.
Peter Rona comes on and gets Bruno Matroni looking. Through 5 complete, it's the Chiefs 2, the Black Sox 1. We'll go to the 6th. Early is getting late.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
There you see the line score here. 5 hits apiece. The Chiefs out in front, though, in the runs department. That's the one that matters. Marco Diaz has piled up 13 strikeouts through 5 innings. And he got one of the other 2 himself. In for a strike to another pinch hitter, Joe.
No, it's Thomas, isn't it? Thomas Anoka?
No, it is not.
No, it's not. Sorry. 24.
Seth Gibson. Boy, he looks like a put-together individual, too. My goodness. High hopper. That's going to scoot out for a base hit over the head of Shales. And pinch hitter Gibson aboard with a leadoff single. Thomas Anoka goes 2 for 2, scores a run, and gets pinch hit for. Wow, I don't know what else you got to do to stay in the game.
But he came off the bench and did the job.
Well, this is all preparation work. I mean, yes, the Black Sox want to win the game. They want to do well, but this is all prep for them, for Prince Albert. There's some great intelligence getting to see Marco Diaz as A little cue shot off the bat of Cole Evans bounds into the Black Sox dugout at the end of the far end, actually. Diaz will feature for USA. Lifted up to right. Pecker 3-4 steps in, and you're not going to challenge Alan Pecker from there. Seth Gibson retreats back to first.
Right fielder number 5, Kirika Cooper Nicola.
Hohepa Monk will get a third look at Marco Diaz. And he's got a strikeout swinging and a strikeout looking. No, this is a pinch hitter. I take it back. This is Tikarika Cooper Nicola as Thomas Makia continues to go to the bench. Cooper Nicola was on the U23 team that played in Paraná in Argentina back in 23.
Well, it's so important to not only use your bench, but put them in this type of scenario, that preparing them for that big tournament in 2 weeks.
You got to see guys that throw like this. You can't just go in ice cold. Very similar to Canada, too, in that regard, Joe, where they're bringing along a couple of youngsters here as this Black Sox team is in transition. Probably a step ahead of Canada even in that regard. Canada very likely to lose 9 guys after this cycle is complete. Slap attempt by Cooper Nicola. So he's down on strikes, 14 indeed.
Number 33, Tuera Bishop.
Tuera Bishop, the RBI for the Black Sox here tonight, or the RBI singular. Gibson, the leadoff single. But with 2 down here, in danger of being stranded, Bishop holds back. Shales dives and knocks it down. Gonzalez goes and gathers it up in front of the bag at second, but a hard hit single off the bat of Tuera Bishop. And Joe, not only does he throw the ball well, but he's hitting it well here tonight too for the Black Sox. 2 down, he'll get the courtesy runner, and that's a pretty good trade as Cooper Nicola comes back out to run for the big catcher. Give Shales credit, though, for knocking that down. Full extension dive. Reese Evans stayed in the game for Tawny Mumu. And he'll face Marco Diaz. Can't catch up to the heat. "14 strikeouts and counting for big Marco Diaz." Long look in. You see, get the fingers tacky on that Gorilla Gold rag. Little flare on the infield. Diaz wants to call for it, but he gets called off by Shales. Black Sox stram 2 in the 6th. We'll go to the bottom half. Chiefs looking to extend this 2-1 lead in a real good ball game here tonight. Seth Gibson stays in at first base for the Black Sox. Came on to hit for Thomas Anoka and did a good job of it, so gets to play defensively as well. Quentin Bruce lined out way back in the first and then grounded out Joe in the third. We'll get his first look at Pittarona. It'll be Bruce, Tony Gonzalez, and Edgar Lopez, 5, 6, 7 for the Chiefs here in the home half of the sixth inning.
Chiefs would love to pick up some extra runs here. Just make it that much easier for Diaz.
Pittarona doing a little bit of flexing out there, as you see, before he gets back to the board. Bruce taps this out to short right. Coming on to make the catch at his knees. I'm going to say that is Tarika Cooper-Nicola, who also stayed in defensively.
Second baseman number 2, Tony Gonzalez.
Gonzalez looks at a ball and does not go around. Joe, you and I both noticed on the line score that the Black Sox actually out hitting the Chiefs here 7-5, but the solo home run by Edgar Lopez in the second, and then they bunched 3 hits together in the fourth to push one across. I don't think Rona was too happy with that pitch location. He snapped the ball with the glove and took a purposeful couple of strides behind the board. Gets this one over for a strike. He looks like a man on a mission right now, Joe. He's a little...
Give me that ball.
Yeah, a little possessed right there. Big cut by Gonzalez. He fouls that one back off out of play.
I think we'll find that one tonight.
No, that one's going to be tough to find in the dark. You may find it over in the parking lot adjacent to the park. Well, that one's going to go join it. We're going to run out of K-Masters here. There's a good look at Tony Gonzalez. Reaches out and punches this one out to center left. Benanoka will come across to intercept that. Tony Gonzalez aboard for the second time tonight. Another single for Tony.
Just punch the ball over the infield.
And here's pinch runner Luciano Biondi will come on the scene to run for Tony Gonzalez. You'll see him left to right across your screen and behind some of those Black Sox. Biondi runs very, very well in the same league as Pecker and Nick White.
Baseman number 9, Pipolo Lopez.
Lopez hit a sky-high fly ball out to right back in the fourth inning. And, of course, the big home run in the second to get the Chiefs on the board. Strike on the corner. And this one gets in, and sliding up to second base goes Biondi. I don't think that was the pitch that Bishop thought he was going to get.
A little bit of a mix-up there.
Well, looked like he was reaching back across his body for it, and
Ball just about hit Lopez.
out to Marikatir at second. Got a nice generous hop for him as it came up. But Lopez hits behind the runner, does a good job to advance Bionde up to third. So 2 down, a runner 60 feet away for Alan Pecker. Pecker walked in the second, singled, and scored in the fourth. Downstairs from Pitterona.
Big insurance run potentially there at third base.
Big cut, comes up empty.
Good bat speed there by Pecker. Good turn of the hands, rolled the wrist.
Pitterona's got some velocity tonight too, Joe. Not known for being a real hard thrower, but he's got some zip tonight. This one is laced right at Ben Anoka. He took a step and a half to his left, calmly threw up the glove and pulled it down. This is a rocket off the bat of Pecker. But look at Ben Anoka. Yeah, just another Saturday evening.
Yeah. Still having fun.
Nothing to it. Go to the top of the seventh. Last call for the Black Sox coming up. Well, you just saw Thomas Macchia as he's walking out towards center right on your screen. He was down engaged in a quick conversation with George LeMaitre. Not sure, Joe, if there's more substitutions coming, but we'll keep an eye for it. But right now it's Ben Anoka and Dante Macchia Marikatir. Ben Anoka, first pitch swinging and through the 3.5 hole, and Ben Anoka solves Marco Diaz for the first time tonight as he leads off with a single.
The 106th pitch for Marco Diaz tonight.
Second baseman number 17, Dante Macchia.
Ben Anoka, who's been involved in more late game rallies than you can shake a stick at, here in another one. 7 times All-World in the ISC. 2-time MVP. Marikatir squares to bunt, pulls it back, but gets a called strike for all that.
Good base runner, too. Got good wheels.
He'll turn the corner real quick.
When Beninoka's in flight, he covers the ground in between bases, the 60 feet, in about 5 steps.
Yeah.
He goes first to third as quick as just about anybody. And that one is up and out of the zone. We'll even the count at ones. Squared again, chopping at it. And Joe, you said it earlier. You're either up there to bunt for a single or bunt to sacrifice. Here, I got to think you're bunting to sacrifice,
Yes.
not for a single.
You want to tie this ball game up.
And Montecatier can handle the bat, too. Over the top, good, hard drop from Marco Diaz. 15 now on the night.
Left fielder number 99, Riley Makia.
Makia, the guy you want at the plate if you're a Black Sox fan right here, right now. 2 for 2 with a walk. He's hit the ball hard twice. Down and in to Riley Makia. He and Dante, half brothers. A little flare out to short right. That's going to fall in. Montecatier, who had to take a look to see that it was going to drop. And, Joe, that was enough to stop him from trying to go coast to coast.
But good base running there. Have to make sure that ball drops in before he can advance down to second base.
Fights it off, does Riley Makia, to punch that out to right field. And one down, but the tying run now, Joe, just 120 feet away. 3 for 3 on the night. Riley Makia with a walk thrown in, on base 4 times tonight.
Done his job.
Jerome Remeke. You do not see 3 strikeouts in Jerome Remeke's column or in his row very often at all. Would love some sweet redemption here. Marco Diaz has been on point all night for the Hill United Chiefs. 15 strikeouts and counting. Just misses upstairs. Remeke fouls that off at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball game on the line here, Joe Todd.
Kind of surprised where Gonzalez is playing a player, or does Remeke have a tendency of going more up the middle?
He's usually up the middle, but absolutely can pull the ball. Tony Gonzalez is shaded well over toward the bag at second. Lopez is off the line at first. This one is flared way down the left side. One ball, 2 strikes on Remeke. Diaz, the long look in. And make it 2-2 as he misses out and away.
Diaz has got 15 strikeouts, as you said, but the game has not been easy for him.
No, not at all. Base runners every inning for New Zealand. This one is no exception.
7 base hits so far for New Zealand. 8 base runners left on base for New Zealand.
Was that 7 coming into the inning?
7 coming in. Sorry,
They got a
you're right.
pair tonight,
Yeah.
or their pair this inning
Yeah.
rather. So 9 hits on the evening for the Black Sox now. Diaz has done a remarkable job of getting the strikeout whenever he's needed it.
This is a big battle right here.
And let's run it to a full count as Jerome Remeke works it back to a 3-2 count. Terrific battle here between two of the best in the game. Marco Diaz for the Hill United Chiefs. That's him in your picture right here, right now. And Jerome Remeke at the plate. Fouled straight back.
Diaz asked for a second set of signals there.
Well, Beninoka out at second base. The Black Sox, Joe, have always had an internal system of tipping pitches. It used to be if the mouth was open or the mouth was closed, and what side of the bag you would lean to or start from. Oh, make it full now.
Now it's
Okay,
a full.
my bad. I had thought that was a full count previously. That's my mistake. So now it's full. Now the tension even higher.
Yeah. Ratchet up a little higher.
And ball 4, that gets away from Matrone. Shales scampers down to the plate. Bases loaded. Just the one out here for the Black Sox. Big pressure for New Zealand here, trying to push across this tying run. Australia seems to have stopped all the calisthenics that they were undertaking out in right field to spectate here. And here's Jeff Ellsworth. We haven't been able to see if they've had anybody warming up, Joe, down the left field line. I'd be surprised, to be honest, but at the same time, you also want to be prepared. But
Yes.
I think this has got to be Marco Diaz ball game.
Oh, yeah, for here on in. Yep. And this spot of the lineup has done great. It's 3 for 3, 3 singles. Seth Gibson come off the bench with a big clutch hit in the 6th inning. Thomas Sanoka before that with 2 and scored back in the 4th. This spot in the lineup has done its job. Nowhere to put him.
Got to go after Seth Gibson. Diaz with the lean and in for strike 1. I think, Joe, you just go back to the drop ball here, and if he hits it, he hits it. But get beat with your best pitch. Haven't seen the changeup, I don't think, at all tonight.
No, I have not. Yeah, I would just throw nothing but drop balls, let him hit in the dirt, and bring the ball home.
Blows that one right on by him. Shane Boland in with some words of encouragement for the big, tall righty. Baja, California. Gonzalez is in. Boland right in the baseline, then takes a step in. Goes after it. Strike 3 called there. Bit of a half-hearted swing from Seth Gibson and a huge strikeout, the 16th of the night, and maybe, Joe Todd, none bigger right now for Marco Diaz. But now you've got to face Cole Evans.
124 pitches for Diaz.
One of, if not the best player in the game. Hard shot, but right at Tony Gonzalez. Hill United Chiefs bend but don't break. Marco Diaz leaves the bases loaded here in the top of the 7th inning. Tony Gonzalez is right man, right place. 16 strikeouts on the night for Marco Diaz. A whale of a ball game, Joe Todd, between the Hill United Chiefs and the New Zealand Black Sox. The handshake line. We will sign off. We expect to see the Chiefs in the 12 p.m. Eastern semifinal game, and then they'll go right into, or the winner at least, will go right into a 2 p.m. championship game. But the Chiefs finish with a 3-1 record, as do the Black Sox. Hill United, of course, with the tiebreaker. So more games to come tonight and first thing tomorrow morning, and that will set up the final playoff matchups. Come back with us tomorrow here on Softball Premier. For Joe Todd, I'm Blair Setford. Thanks for being with us.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.